again to my workshop. Today we're going to do something a little different. I've connected up NC Studio to my router machine. So this demonstration today is going to be a 2.5D carve-in of a Mayan calendar. It's about just over half a meter wide, about nearly 2 foot wide. And it's in 18mm MDF, and I've actually sprayed it with red paint too to give a good contrast. What I want to show you today is that there is no difference between NC Studio and Mach 3 end result in the actual cut. In actual fact, I find NC Studio a simpler program to use, and indeed the graphics are a lot better, to me anyway. So now I'll show you how NC Studio operates in relation to Mach 3. They're very similar. So NC Studio is very similar to Mach 3. It's just laid out a little bit different. And I like NC Studio because the jog keys here are very prominent, and if you notice here, I can select a precise amount to jog. That is 0.01 of a millimeter all the way up to 10 millimeters, and it's very, very precise. A little bit later I'll show you that. I'll put a DTI on the gantry, and I'll show you exactly that. If you want to move it 10 millimeters, it moves exactly 10 millimeters, as you'd expect. But I find this very convenient. A normal type of jog, the same as Mach 3, except the buttons are nice and big, for me anyway. And same, except there is one difference with NC Studio. Just switch QueenAnt. And that is, instead of page up, page down for Z up and down, it's 9, the same for Z up, but it's 1 for Z down. So that's the only difference there if you're operating off a keypad like this. And the other thing is, if you want rapid jog, rapid jog, instead of pressing Shift like on Mach 3, you press CTRL to be able to get rapid jog. So that's a couple of differences there, but other than that, it's pretty well the same. Up here, this is our DROs. This is the work offset DROs, and this is the machine coordinate or home position DROs. They're displayed simultaneously. You'll have X, Y, Z coordinates here. With this particular version of NC Studio, you substitute the X axis for your rotary axis. You just unplug it inside and plug the 4th axis into it, and you run the 4th axis off the X. And in later videos I'll show you how to do that too. So this is the work envelope of our machine. So it's 90 millimeters long, it's 150 millimeters high, and let me see, 60 millimeters wide. That's the work envelope. That's what NC Studio sees as our machine. Although I have 200 millimeters under the gantry, I only actually have 150 millimeter of travel in the Z. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to load a file into NC Studio, and it's done as simply as this. You come up into this top corner, on File, Open and Load. Oh, there it is there. Okay, and there it is, the file is in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to zero the machine with NC Studio, and it's pretty well exactly the same process. just jog it over to wherever you started your program, your work is, your work offset, and you just actually click these boxes, which sets the 0 up. So we'll do that right now. So in this window here, you have the G code. We can switch between it just by going to the next tag over. That takes us then to the jog window. And there's a prompt as well that says to you that how to obtain a rapid jog. So NC Studio does prompt you quite a bit like that. So we'll switch Gwen on and we'll jog over. So it's very easily to use. You can just select 10 millimeters of jog in the X direction, and Gwen will precisely move 10 millimeters. So it's very precise, very easy to use. So I'll just select normal jog now, which is the top window up here, and we'll take the machine, the gantry, over to the work offset, the beginning of the program. So it's a very similar process to Mach 3. So you can just get your cursor and just come over this here, because this is the work coordinate or the work offset, or G54. So you just press, press, press. And you can see now that it's taken the cursor directly into the center of the machining area there. And these are the machine coordinates. This is how far it is from its home position. So now I probably won't be doing too much talking while this is cutting now, because with the V-bit cutter it can get a little noisy. So this is probably the noisiest tool that this machine uses. So we will raise it up off the work. So we'll put it into standard normal jog here, like that, and raise it up off the work, and I'll start the spindle up. Normally this slider here regulates the RPM of the spindle. I haven't got it connected up yet. I will connect it up sometime this week. And this is spindle on and off, and this is a spindle RPM setting, and this is the actual RPM that it does. And this slider here, this is the percentage of feed rate. So I normally start it up fairly slow, 23%, and in this particular case it'll do a maximum of 120% of feed rate that was originally in the program. Okay, so let's get started. turned out exceptionally nice. If I can show you that without too much glare.